42 points. Bam! 12 boards. Bam! By the unibrow, Anthony Davis. We gotta celebrate this man, right? Not. And I'll tell you why. Before we get into that, let's jump into some other games that I really want to talk about also. The Pelicans. You know I got a thing for the Pelicans. Now the Pelicans are playing against the Memphis Grizzlies, or were playing against the Memphis Grizzlies. The Memphis Grizzlies right now, they hold the number 8 spot, and a couple of teams are gearing or trying to snatch that 8 spot away from the Memphis Grizzlies. The Memphis Grizzlies have lost a couple of games, so this was a must win for them. They lost 2 games already. This they had to win. The Pelicans also lost 2 games prior to this one. It was an interesting match. From the very beginning, Lonzo, boom, the drop in the trade. Lonzo has been struggling. DC, not BC. BC, let's get it straight. BC is before Corona. DC is during Corona. So during Corona, Lonzo has been struggling to shoot. But the story is not about Lonzo here. The story is about the Pelicans. The Pelicans. The Pelicans eventually won this game. Yay, let's celebrate. Yay. So that's the story. End of the story? Nah. Before we get into that, I do want to talk about Ja Morant. He had a terrible game. You know, he shot about, what, 5 of 21. That's below 25%, somewhere around 23%. Zion, man, Zion, if that dude just goes in, it's a foul or it's a bucket. I mean, he's not shooting all that great, and his free throws are just terrible. He wasn't making his free throws, but he has a problem. Every time he's on the floor, he just impacts the whole game. B.I. incredible. I mean, B.I. has been incredible. The most improved player. Really? Maybe? Huh? There's also Luka. Man, Luka from his first season to this season, incredible. I mean, okay, that's another story. That's another story. We could do a video about that. But I really like what B.I. has been able to do this season. Luka's also been really nice. And we can't sleep on Siakam also. It seems like every season that dude is just improving. We going off topic here. Let's go back. The Pelicans won that match. All right, so let's keep it moving to the next thing. We're going to jump to the next thing. Actually, let's talk about the Raps since I jumped into it. Let's segue into that. Siakam and the crew. But today it wasn't about Siakam. The Raps, it was all about Van Fleet. This is the way they do it. They remind me kind of like, you know, the Spurs, when the Spurs were doing their thing back in them days, and then the Golden State Warriors. You know, these guys, it's anybody's night. If you're hot, they'll look for you. Van Fleet was hot, and he was just killing the Heat, just scorching them. Career high. BC, the 2 games that they played, the Heat won those 2 games. This game, DC, during Corona, this would have been the only team, if they had won this match, unfortunately they didn't, it would have been the only team to have beaten the Raptors at least 3 times this season, because that defense is really stingy. All those non-believers are starting to believe now that the Raptors mean business. And the finals, I think the finals could be in their vicinity, right? That's me. I've always been saying that. Look out for the Raps. Look out for the Raps. And here they come. They coming. Led by my main man, Larry. All the way from Philly to Canada. Be careful now. Be careful. So yeah, but then again, you know, the Heat, they're also a really good team. You got to give props to the Heat. This game, they tried. But maybe that defense just affected them in some kind of way, because you look at Kendrick Nunn, he went 0 for 7. That is 0%. He's lucky he was able to make his free throw, so he walked away with 2 points, but he went 0-7. That's 0%. You know, all their shooting guards were struggling. Even what's his name? Duncan Robinson struggling. It was just problematic for him. It was a bad night. Now we could say they had a bad night. Or we could say that the Raptors just, that defense, it's that defense. But anywho, the Raptors won that match. Let's keep it moving. Haha. Let's go all the way to the Jazz before we start talking about the Lakers. The Jazz. What is going on with the Jazz? Something is just funky out there. Because BC, they were kind of hot before Corona. They were starting to heat up. They were starting to come together. Those notes, those Jazz notes, were just hitting right. And right now, I don't know what they playing, man. That's not Jazz. I don't know what kind of tunes they're playing, but it's not working for them. They're not able to close games. It's just not right. Something is off. But we'll get into that. I'll take a close look at that, that team, and then we'll have a lengthy discussion about that team, DC, during Corona. Now, let's talk about the Lakers. Props to the Lakers. I've been saying a whole lot of ish about the Lakers, about their defense, but they really did play some good defense in that third quarter. That defense was pretty nice, even in the fourth quarter. I'm starting to see it's kind of like a little trend now. I'm starting to see that defense is kind of nice though. You got to give them props. Play really great defense. Props to the Lakers. But Mr. AD, you need to stop it. Just stop that. Because that's crazy. This is our, stop lying to the people, man. These type of games, when the Lakers are up, when everything seems to be working for them, that's when you shine. You hitting threes, getting fouled, going out there, hitting your free throws and all that, looking like you're the man and all that, right? Mr. Unibrow, Mr. You got it together, the dynamic duo AD and LeBron. Hell to the nizzo. You pull a Houdini every time the game is tight. You want to impress me? Impress me when the game is tight. Show me something I haven't seen. Some people might say, oh, he defers to LeBron. LeBron wants to shine in the fourth quarter. That's why he disappears. Hell no. How come you don't disappear in the fourth quarter when the game is on the line? I mean, when the game is not on the line. Oh, okay. Maybe that's when LeBron doesn't really care. And, he looks for you, or he gives you the ball, or you have the opportunity, to show us something. I don't care, whatever it is. You just don't show up when the game is on the line. You don't show up. There's no AD. And if I'm not seeing something, you guys are seeing something else, please let me know, because I am not seeing AD in the fourth quarter when the game is on the line. This is the AD that we see every day, and people are like, AD is great. AD drops 42 points. AD's got 12 boards and all that. It could have been Kuzma. It could have been anybody. It could have been Waiters. It could have been JR. It could have been anybody getting those buckets. Caruso. Yeah, he can do all that. Heck, he's more aggressive than AD in the fourth quarter. That's what I'm saying. Tell me something different. Hey, yo, make sure you forget to subscribe. Make sure you do that. And make sure you forget to hit that bell right there so you don't hear from me. Do whatever you want to do, man. Whatever, man.